You're blowing? But her ear's pricked. So that means that she's still looking. She's not so tired where she's lazy, where her ears are back and she's uncomfortable. She's blowing, but at the same time her ears are pricked, so she's comfortable and she's happy. That's what we're looking for. Perfect.
Lass is ready to race, but because she's small, she'll have to use every ounce of her hard-earned determination to win. Next, hard times at Saratoga. Saratoga, New York. It's a favorite destination for horsemen who come here to vacation and catch the summer racing. Today, the track's celebrating the opening of the season with steeplechase racing. The farthest thing from the Boniface's minds is a celebration. Poplar's made a full recovery from his accident, but John's gotten terrible news. The jockey he handpicked to ride Poplar, John Kaiser, the best steeplechase jockey in the country and a personal friend, died less than 48 hours earlier in a freak accident. It's a real blow, but John has to remain focused on the race. He's found another top-ranked jockey, Sean Clancy, to ride Poplar in the 5th race. John trusts him. He's ridden hundreds of steeplechase horses and has already studied Poplar's competition.
He's been doing his homework. He knows the other horses and the other riders.
But Clancy won't get a chance. In the 2nd race of the day, he takes a fall and breaks his ankle. The situation couldn't get much worse. Now there's only one thing left for John and Bill to do. They scramble to find any rider they can.
Last race. They were staying here. They wouldn't let them come in the paddock because the other race hadn't come out.
With Poplar's race starting soon and still no jockey, Bonita brings him out to get saddled. With 10 minutes to post, Bill and John have found jockey Rob Massey to ride Poplar and somehow try to get him to the winner's circle. Father and son join up to watch their best jumper race with a jockey they know nothing about.
The flag is up. The horses getting in line for the steeplechase race. And they are off. And Raleigh Gin is going for the early lead. No Uno is right there. And in between horses, it's running light. No Uno running light. And Raleigh Gin.
With the race underway, Rob and Poplar, the number 2 horse in blue, are in a good position.
And Poplar is in 6th. On the outside is Gilded.
Poplar's keeping cool and patient.
Now the 12 of them moving into the far turn with a Foolish Pole in front, and Uno is racing.
Then, around the last turn, he opens up full throttle.
Midway up the backstretch, the final time, and it is Nico.
From a comfortable 7th place, he pulls ahead.
Go now, boy!
He fights to take over 3rd.
Poplar City is 3rd, and it will be.
But too late. He crosses the wire. 4th by a nose.
City and Poplar.
Despite all the problems, Poplar has given the Bonifaces a reason to be proud. For John, it's been one of the most emotionally draining race days he's ever experienced. But he hasn't lost faith. He thinks Poplar who he likes to call Poppy, might have done better with the right jockey.
Poppy might have won if Sean was on him. Dad just grabbed somebody, and the boy thought that if he'd been on the horse before, he probably would have won. He thought he just got, he got too far away out of it. And the start was screwy too, I think. And but that's, I mean, hey, that's the name of the game, though.
With just a hint of luck on his side next time, Poplar could easily be a winner. Back at the farm, several days have passed since Queen Tap vaulted and their babies were separated. Billy's prediction has come true. In a pasture with other mares, Queen Tap and Vaulted are doing fine. Their babies are doing well also. They've bonded with the other foals and are up to their usual antics, showing the spirit that could one day make them champion racehorses. Next on Thoroughbred, can the son of a champion pass his first big test and live up to his superstar father? A Boniface daughter with big ambitions comes home to try to make her mark. And the year's tiniest baby faces a critical rite of passage. At Bonita Farm, the son of a champion tackles his first big test. Can he live up to his father's fame?
Astral Ascent is the hope for the future.
A daughter comes home with the horse that could make her the next in her family to reach glory.
I have big, big plans for this horse. I'm almost afraid to talk about him.
And the year's tiniest foal faces a critical rite of passage. When young racehorses are in training, anything seems possible. And some seem to have unlimited potential. This year, the Boniface family is especially high on an untested 2-year-old named Astral Ascent.
2-year-olds are where your hope lies because they haven't been proven that they can't run yet. We've bred them on a certain line to get the big horse. We've raised them in a way to get the big horse, and now all we have to do is go and do it.
Astral Ascent has big shoes to fill. His father, deputed testament, won the Preakness for the Bonifaces in 1983. The family is counting on him to help keep their thoroughbred horse farm one of the best.
Astral Ascent is the hope for the future. He's probably our best bred horse that we have. Astral Ascent means a lot to this farm right now. I mean, he's the horse that's going to pay for my new roof and pay for a lot of things on the farm that needs to be done.
Chris Boniface is riding Astral while he's in training. She's also a believer.
The sky's the limit with him. I mean, you know, my dream for him is to win the Preakness. Now, that's a big expectation for a horse that hasn't even run yet, but if you don't have dreams, what do you have?
But there's no guarantee in horse racing, no matter how good the bloodline. Astral's still an unknown quantity, He's never run a race or even been off the 400-acre farm. This morning, Chris and Bill will give him a chance to show if he's got his father's speed. For the son of a Triple Crown race winner, Astral is not impressive today. He's missing that competitive edge.
He hasn't shown that bingo, but a lot of colts, 2-year-old colts, are like that. You know, their minds are on other things.
He's coming along slowly, which that's normal for a horse with his breeding. They don't come along real quick.
Bill's seen his type before. Lackluster in practice, but terrific on race day.
He's the type of colt that I think he's going to, one day when you get very close to his first start, he's going to say boom like that, and he's going to really pick your head up.
The Bonifaces think they know just what Astral needs to get jump-started. The thrill of a real racetrack.
We're going to Delaware. They didn't get the experience of shipping in the van, going somewhere else, seeing a new setting, because he was born and raised here and he's never left. So it'll be a big day for him.
Bill's hoping that a trip to the track will kick Astral into high gear and help him find the speed that's in his blood. It's 5 a.m. on Bonita Farm. This morning, there's a new face in the barn. Bill's oldest daughter, Kim, is headed to the track with big dreams of her own. She doesn't live at the farm, but has come home for a few weeks with her prized 3-year-old colt, Field Cat. Field Cat is being readied for a race that's critical to Kim's budding career as a trainer. A win with Field Cat could put her on the map.
He's a smart horse, and I'm a lucky girl. I don't worry about making so many mistakes because I know I'm going to make them regardless. And with him, thank God, I've made about 100 mistakes each week, but he overcomes me very well. That's what I tell everybody. That's how special he is.
10 years ago, Kim struck out from Bonita Farm to make it on her own. A tough road made even harder in a world with few female trainers.
And it's not always easy when you're on your own, and it's a lot of bills, and it's a lot of long hours, and it's a lot of dedication. And you don't have this big, beautiful farm to fall asleep on every night.
She could have stayed and worked alongside her 3 brothers, but she was determined to make it on her own terms.
She wanted to train, like Kevin. He wants to train. You know, you only have so many, there can really only be one trainer. Like, right now, Dad's the trainer. Dad has the final say. She saw that she needed to go out on her own, and that's what she felt she wanted to do.
Sometimes there can be too many chiefs and not enough Indians, and maybe I wanted to be a little more than just an Indian.
She's an overachiever, and she is quite the workaholic.
She's a get to the barn early, work all day, stay late, take care of her horses.
Last spring, Field Cat won a $200,000 race for Kim in Kentucky, the hallowed ground of horse racing. In a strong field, he bolted to the lead and never looked back. Now, Kim's carefully chosen another race she thinks he can win. It's at Delaware Park, the same track that Astral Ascent is going to train on.
They won't be able to catch Field Cat. He shook a lot of horses off when he won this spring.
One more high-stakes win could put Kim in the big leagues. She's confident that if Field Cat gets out front, he'll stay there.
If I just get him into that one pace where he's comfortable, where he's changing his leads and he's catching his stride, he'll go all day like that.
Racing strategy is not an exact science, though. Field Cat has been winning as a sprinter in shorter races. The 1 1/8 race at Delaware might be too long for him. But if he can find the stamina he needs, Kim will be one step closer to realizing a dream.
Coming in. I want a little farm in Kentucky. I just want a small place to call mine, and somewhere where I can turn him out and look at him in the backyard, and hopefully he's going to help me get it.
If race day goes her way, that little farm could soon be hers.
You're acting a little on the spoiled side this morning. Yes, you are. Come here. Don't fight the system.
Next, Astral Ascent has a chance to show his stuff. Delaware Park. Astral Ascent is getting his first taste of the racetrack.
Going to the track is a good thing for a young horse because there's so much more stimuli, and there are horses everywhere going every different direction.
Bill and Chris hope the track will inspire the competitive spirit he's been missing at the farm.
He's shown me the style of running, that there's more in the tank than we're seeing.
Astral won't actually be racing today, though. He's here to get his gate card, his license to race. To get it, he'll have to brake smoothly from the start while an official judges him. Astral makes his way to the starting gate, with Chris riding. He's in a little sensory overload.
He's been in the gate at home a lot, but he knows it's something different, the gate at the racetrack. He was anxious. You know, a lot of times they're not going to just walk right in like they're walking into their stall. They need to check things out first.
He's ready. Now he has to make a clean break.
Ready? Here we go.
Perfect.
They all right for you, man?
And then, what the Bonifaces have been waiting for happens. Astral starts acting like a racehorse. He's running like he wants to win.
When she came up next to me, he got competitive, you know, and he was like, yeah, and he did great. It's strange, they get to the track, they've never been there, and somehow they know that's why they're there.
Ascent, A-S-C-E-N-T.
After all the worry and wondering, Astral's shown them a glimpse of the racehorse that he was born to be.
He's solid, he's smooth. This is a good horse.
It's been a long day, but a good one. Bonita Farm will soon have their most promising young racer in competition.
I think he's proud of himself. Today was a big learning experience, and he took it all in stride. He's never been on a big track like that with a lot of other horses. He handled that great. I think he learned a lot.
It was a good stepping stone. I mean, it was impressive. He put up, you know, he said, I am man, hear me roar, you know, so, you know, I like that about it.
Coming in.
Today, Astral showed a spark of his father's brilliance. If all goes well, he'll show it again when the race is for real. Next, Bonita Farm's smallest foal leaves childhood behind. Today, a foal named Patrick will take a difficult but necessary step toward growing up. Billy's going to wean the 5-month-old colt, separating him from his mother. When Patrick arrived in the world last March, he weighed only half as much as a normal foal. Billy stayed with him through the night, keeping him alive.
Patrick was very weak and took a lot of TLC in the beginning to keep him going. He's a fighter, and he's stuck with it, and he's turned out to be, you know, a nice baby.
He was so small at the beginning. I mean, without a really concerted effort, I don't think he'd have made it. He's going to have a lot to overcome, but he has a lot of personality. He's sort of stuck as part of the family now.
Patrick seemed to have no future as a racehorse, but Billy found a place for him as a pet for his daughter, Bethany. 5 months later, Patrick has surprised everyone. He's grown strong enough to hold his own in the herd. At times, he even takes the lead. Billy is reconsidering Patrick's chances at becoming a racehorse. And today, he's being registered.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it'll amount to anything, but what the heck, he's been fighting everything already. But with him registered, you know, it still gives us more options. And he is a fighter.
The paperwork verifies that he's a full-blooded thoroughbred and makes him eligible to compete. Because he was undersized, Patrick's already had to overcome more than any foal on the farm. Now he faces yet another tough moment. He'll be separated from his mother, proud Greta, whose side he's never left.
He's closing in on 5 months, and so it's time for him to be on his own.
This is the last time Patrick and Greta will be together. Billy leads Greta out first. Patrick's never been alone in his stall before. Billy takes the colt out to the field where he used to be kept with his mother. But now he's alone. Patrick looks for Greta somewhere in the herd, but she's in a pasture many yards away. For hours, mother and son try unsuccessfully to find each other.
It's a stressful thing. They have that maternal instinct that they need to take care of their foals. And so they're looking for their babies. That's the first instinct.
Finally, at the end of a very long afternoon, they begin to calm down. Both start showing glimmers of interest in other horses.
I really didn't think he was going to make it, but he was a fighter right from the beginning. He's a gutsy little guy. He's shown he has a lot of desire to hang with the bunch.
In the days ahead, Patrick will settle into life without his mother. And in the next months, his potential as a racehorse will become clearer. No one is ruling him out any longer. Next, Field Cat's big race. It's race day for Kim Boniface and Field Cat at Delaware Park. This is the moment they've been training for. If Field Cat does well, Kim will be further on the road to success as a horse trainer.
I can't overemphasize what a special horse he is. When we go in the paddock, he knows it's close to getting ready to do what he loves to do, and he's a total professional.
Billy and his family have come to root for her.
All right, we got our number picked. And I wanted to show Kim some support. And the kids even put a little wager on Kim's horse.
The competition's stiff. Field Cat will be racing against top-of-the-line million-dollar thoroughbreds. But Field Cat, who's running as number 2 today, has beaten this kind of talent before.
I get nervous about a lot of things, but when it comes race day, I've done my job. And I'm very secure my horses are going to try, and I'm confident that I'm sending them over there fit and ready to run.
And they're off. Field Cat broke well.
On the outside, Three Wonders, Blaze and Blues right there.
He's out in front.
Inside, moving up that Field Cat unrecorded between horses. As they come down that chute onto the main course, Field Cat on the inside. There, Three
got the
Wonders
lead.
in second, unrecorded, under restraint in third. Handsome Trick
Can he
toward the
hold it?
inside, Blaze and Blues racing fifth. And the threesome at the back, Dawn of the Condor toward the inside, Polish Miner. And Yowzer is your trailer. Field Cat on the front end after a quarter in 24 and 3. Leads it by about 3 lengths. Three Wonders in sitting pretty in second.
He's in the home stretch. Looks like he's got it. But in the final seconds, the number 7 horse, Three Wonders, pulls ahead. Field Cat couldn't manage the distance. But Kim won't give up.
I ride him every day, and I know he can get further. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but later on in his career, you know, he still is a 3-year-old.
Everything went perfect, except I think the race would have helped if it was a little bit shorter.
I'm just hats off to her every day that she keeps on trucking in the right direction.
She's had a lot of success this year with just a handful of horses, and I think it's, you know, the same old story. You get out of them what you put in them, and she puts a lot in them.
After all the hard work, Kim gives Field Cat a well-deserved rest. Kim will also take a break, but not for long. She's already thinking about the next race.
I have big plans for this horse in Kentucky, and I'm almost afraid to talk about them. And there's some shorter races in the fall that I have in mind I'm putting this horse to, and I think he'll be